One of the things we've been talking about lately is how much our RV travel has changed over the years. Not necessarily where we go, but how we approach the way that we travel. We're trying to stop consuming everything like Pac-Man.
You have all these places that you've read about or watched videos on YouTube about, and those are your famous destinations, and we definitely want to go and experience all those. But there's all the special ones that you don't really hear about, that you really got to go somewhere and spend some time to really experience those. To be able to do that, you have to slow down your travel quite a bit.
On this episode, we're going to give you an example of our trip through northern New Mexico with this new way of approaching RV travel. It wasn't a place that we knew about from famous things. It wasn't a place that we had on a bucket list. But since we're planning regions to visit now, we discovered this area and made enough time to visit it.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Linda.
And this is Roaming with Rosie. No, I don't do yoga.
I would pay to see you do yoga.
Yeah.
As we get out of the car, we can hear people screaming, "Bloody murder." No, you're a loudmouth. Say something more.
And it's blowing all that black smoke out. We'll probably smell like coal when we get to the end of this ride.
That's an airplane crossing just about a foot over our heads right now.
We're really good at stating the obvious.
And with that, we're turning around. After leaving Santa Fe, New Mexico, from where we visited Bandelier National Monument, definitely a place that's not really famous, but one of the most memorable experiences we've ever had. But then we headed north to Abiquiu Lake National Recreation Area. It's a Corps of Engineers project. We stayed at the Abiquiu Lake Recreation Area Campground, and even though it was July, it was like we had the place completely to ourselves.
Yeah, and that was pretty surprising. You would think during the summertime, a lake campground would be packed, but it wasn't. There was hardly any boats on the water, and the spaces were really spacious, and it felt like we had the place to ourselves.
So one thing that we've realized is that the freedom in RV travel isn't just about being able to go wherever we want to go, whenever we want. It's also having enough time somewhere to actually experience it. I think that's the whole key, is having these experiences now instead of just bucket list checkoffs, When we're moving every couple of days, we're always thinking about the next stop, when we got to go, what we got to pack up, and not being able to set a chair outside because we're leaving so quickly. But by staying in one spot and visiting places in the region, it's really helping us to be able to slow down, and that's what the whole goal is of what we're trying to achieve now. We'll show you more of the lake and the campground in a little bit, but we're really excited to show you the places that we discovered in the region. One of the best examples of this discovery type travel is the Echo Amphitheatre. It's not a place that we had ever heard of before, but it's one of the most memorable experiences that we've ever had.
Yeah, it was really great. I'm a Red Rock nut, so it was kind of in my wheelhouse, but it's just a really incredible place, really neat.
Today we came to see a natural amphitheater that's really well known for creating an incredible echo. So as we get out of the car, we can hear people screaming, "Bloody murder," which you would think, uh-oh, what's wrong? But they're all screaming inside the amphitheater. So let's go check it out. It's about a half-mile up there and back. It's another one starting right there. Right there, if we can come back in about 1,000 years, we'll get to see it.
Yeah, 1,000.
It's nice picnic areas all over in here. Shady. I wonder how many centuries of people have been coming here just for fun. Walked all the way here just to hear themselves yell. So it sounds like the road is in front of me, but the road is behind me. So all the street noise is bouncing off of this too. Ready to yell?
This is what you get when you roam with Rosie!
We're the only ones here. No, you're a loudmouth. Say something more.
I'm a loudmouth.
I'm always telling you not.
Whoa!
So weird. The cars are like a half a mile behind us and it sounds like they're right in front of us. So we're here between Chama and Abiquiu, New Mexico. We drove out here to see this natural amphitheater. They've built really cool platforms. You walk about a half mile from the car and they've got these platforms where you can yell into the bowl. And what else was neat about it?
All that's neat about it is it's incredibly beautiful, but then when you yell, "Roaming with Rosie!" it echoes right back at you.
And then where waters come down, it looks like paint.
Yeah, it almost looks like Native Americans painted on the walls, but it's rust from where the water came down the side of the wall. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, Dexter's a little weirded out about it because we were yelling his name and it's bouncing off the walls and he's like looking around and now he's just shaking. He's not happy about it. It is about 90 degrees today, aiming for 95. So it's a bit warm. The shade is fine. This beautiful Douglas fir here. Little teeny tiny pine cones that I love so much. This amphitheater was really fun. Just a short walk up to it and back. I think about a quarter of a mile each way. Parking is supposed to be, I think, $5, and they want you to pay at a pay station. But it's a federal property, so our America the Beautiful Pass works. We just put that up. Free stop. Go on up and check it out. Now we're going to go check out the campground.
Now, the Echo Amphitheatre is located in the Carson National Forest, and it also has a campground, and you can find that information on recreation.gov, and we'll put a link down in the description of this video.
And it says online that 30 feet is the largest RV that can be accommodated, but as you can see, some of the sites seem like they could fit 36 feet, which this is, plus a car easily. At just $20 a night for single use with hookups, the price is really great. But add in your America the Beautiful Senior Pass and you can get it for just $10 a night. This is site 4 and this has 50 amp?
Yep.
Can we fit on this site? I think we could fit here.
Yeah.
We didn't stay here, but this was definitely a fun find that we would look to staying there next time that we go through.
Definitely. Now, that doesn't mean that every discovery is going to be a success story. This next part is clearly going to show that.
Yeah, we learned that when we headed down that dirt road to visit the monastery. So we're taking this drive, Monastery of the Christ of the Desert, I think. It's a 13-mile unpaved road. There are forest access roads that we're passing, and I've seen some people turn off. We have four-wheel drive, but we do not have high clearance. We're not using the four-wheel drive. The recommendation is not to take... What was that?
What was that?
I don't know. And with that, we're turning around because something hit the bottom of the car loud enough to shake everything inside. So we have no cell service out here, so we're going to go back and check first.
I can still hear that loud bang underneath the vehicle.
Yeah, so we never made it to the monastery, but this is kind of all part of the experience, especially when you're trying to take detours. So we wanted to show you more of Abiquiu Lake. It's a Corps of Engineers project, and the Riana campground sits on a 150-foot bluff overlooking the lake at about a 6,400-foot elevation. There's 54 sites, and many of them have electric and water, including 50 amp. Of those sites, you can have up to 2 camping units in one site. And this was our space. The cost was $20 a night for a very wide 70-foot long space. When we were there, a fire had started about 29 miles or more away on the far side of the lake. But within a couple of days, it was much closer and it was starting to create a lot of smoke. It's beautiful. But sad, it's fires up here in northern New Mexico. I think it was lightning caused, if I remember correctly from the news. This seems to be happening to us a lot, even before we were RVing, and I just think that's the nature of traveling in the West in the summer these days.
Now, another thing, I don't know why this lake isn't so popular. I mean, it's just beautiful. The campground's incredible. The whole area around there is just incredible. Maybe it's more populated during the weekends, I'm not sure, but it's just really a really beautiful place. One of the things that we did is we drove over to where the boat ramp was to get a closer look at the water.
Very peaceful lake. Really pretty. Even though there's smoke in the sky, it's still really pretty here. So we didn't use it because it was too hot while we were here. But you have this whole like backyard area to the space. We're space 14. One of the places that we were aware of, because they do so much advertising, is Ghost Ranch. So it was on our radar to go there, even though they charge an entrance fee. Currently, it's an artist retreat and an educational center, but it's also known for the spectacular landscapes that were painted by artist Georgia O'Keeffe when it was her home in 1940.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to go there is one, because I'm a Red Rock nut, and then when I got there, I didn't realize that there was a lot of movies that were filmed there. One was 310 to Yuma, Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner, and then also City Slickers. The cabin there was actually used in City Slickers, so that was really kind of cool to be there and see that cabinet and kind of hang out.
So the Ghost Ranch properties have been used in a lot of movies, and perhaps one of the most famous, at least to me, is the City Slickers. So this actually, the Ghost Ranch was a dude ranch at one time in the 40s and before the 40s, but there was a cabin in City Slickers, and here it is. I wonder if they built this for, or if it was already here.
It's already here.
It was already here. They've just maintained it.
You can't go in now.
You can look in the windows. Look at this view. After the cabin, we went ahead into the ranch and we paid our $10 each for a day pass. They gave us some trail info and we headed out onto the Lark Pass Trail.
Yeah, we went out on the trail and it was already 90 degrees, so probably not the best thing to do in the middle of the day at 90 degrees, hiking out in the desert. But we decided, hey, we're here, we paid our $10. We wanted to do at least part of the hike to be able to get out and see some of the area.
So we are camped in that lake, kind of on that side. Way over there is the Abiquiu Lake Campground. So this was supposed to be a little bit easier trail. We're still at 6,000 foot elevation, at least, and we're climbing. So I'm not sure right now which trail we've actually hiked up. The trail we were aiming for was easy, and this has been uphill with loose rocks most of the way. And some of the rocks are a high step up, like 18 to 24 inches of a step. So I don't know that it's the right trail, but it was worth it. It looks like this trail that we're on, according to All Trails, goes a little further, but it goes down into a canyon and then back up again. But we're at close to 7,000 feet right now. So we're way higher than Denver. And I can feel it. It's an airplane crossing just about a foot over our heads right now. So down here is Ghost Ranch. All those buildings down there. So we've hiked quite a bit from there. But the views from here are just incredible. Far enough, or do you want to go further?
Well, you're gonna have to go back down and then come back up a pretty steep grade, so. And when we initially looked up, it said the hike was 3/4 of a mile, and I'm pretty much under the impression that's how far we've gotten. I think it mentioned something about a big boulder, and I think that's what this is supposed to be.
And is that 3/4 of a mile, it's round trip or not, each way?
No, each way. We take the cairns to a large boulder at the ridge's highest point, 6,800 feet.
So that's the highest point of the ridge, not necessarily the end of the trail.
Correct.
68.9, wasn't it? So I can call it 7,000. Visiting Ghost Ranch was kind of interesting because it doubled down on our theory that the most popular places are necessarily the best places. The scenery was absolutely beautiful, and I can see why Georgia O'Keeffe was so inspired to do some of her most beautiful landscapes from this location.
Now, maybe if you were staying there, it would be a different thing. If you're an archaeologist, definitely it'd be interesting. Or if you're an art student and you're staying there studying as an art student, I can understand that. Or if you're the type of person who wants to go and do, say, yoga or something like that and stay there, it'd definitely be worth it. But for me, that's not really my thing.
You don't do yoga?
No, I don't do yoga.
I would pay to see you do yoga.
Yeah. Well, anyways, no, I'm a weightlifting Neanderthal, if you want to put it that way. But as far as the entire region, it was incredibly beautiful. You know, anything with where there's vistas and red rock and all that kind of stuff, I just love it. But to pay the $10 to go in and see what we saw, I didn't think it was really worth it.
We've talked a lot lately about having experiences, especially experiences that bring us joy. So what better way to have joy than to take a train ride in the mountains on a beautiful summer day? The Cumbres Toltec Railroad, I hope I'm saying that right, is in the very northernmost part of New Mexico, and it is a bit of a tourist thing, but not too famous, and because it's a bit out of the way, it doesn't really draw huge crowds. This was the thing that we learned about prior to planning this trip, and actually was the endpoint destination.
We've taken a few of these antique railroad day trips, and for the most part, we've liked all of them except for just one.
Brings out the little kid in you?
Yeah, kind of. I mean...
Going on a choo-choo?
A choo-choo?
You purchased a choo-choo?
Look, the wheels go round.
I'm very pleased.
So I really find them worth the cost of the ticket, and riding on these old historic trains really takes you back in time.
So this route travels to Colorado and back. Today we're going to ride the Cumbres and Toltec Railroad from Chama, New Mexico into Colorado. What time is it?
12:28.
So we're getting ready to board the train. It's a 3-hour trip.
3-hour tour.
A 3-hour tour. That
Not
is
on a boat though, but on a steam train.
Because we needed to take a shorter trip because we've left Dexter back in the RV and it's a little bit long to leave him for an all-day trip. So we are in car J, right next to the bar cart. So that's pretty good, and the open one. So this car is absolutely full, and so these double seats are going to be ours anytime we want to sit down, but I thought we could move seats. But I'm going to hit the bar cart, and then we'll probably go out to the open air area.
Yeah, open air is good. This is about a seat and a half.
Yeah.
So, kind of tight. This is an RV park that's right next to the train, obviously, because we're on the train and we can see the RV park.
soon as we crossed the bridge, we were allowed to come back and get some alcohol, and we're the first ones, so we're first served. So I don't know if you can hear me, but we're in the open car. We're the first ones to come out here. It's pretty cramped inside, so we didn't want to stay inside very long.
They make the walls high on the observation car because they're serving beer and they don't want you falling over.
So Jamie asked the conductor that's back here to answer questions. The reason this is so much more rocky than like the Willits or the Hood River train is because it's a narrow gauge.
So what the conductor in the car here said that the narrow gauge, obviously the tracks are narrower. They're not quite as wide as a normal track. They're not quite as high either. So you get a lot more rocking in the cars as you're going down the track. Because all the other trains we were on weren't quite as bumpy and weren't bouncing side to side as much as this. So it's kind of a totally different feel. And then when you're going down the track, you're looking at the steam engine and it's blowing all that black smoke out. We'll probably smell like coal when we get to the end of this ride.
So on our RV travels, we keep finding these trains, and I think I'm becoming a train nut. Is that what you call it? I don't know. But this is so much fun. And it literally is the business for Chama. And a lot of these little small towns. This train has really brought back some life to these small towns. So it's really cool that we're bringing them some business too. And Chama has some great restaurants. Last night we went to this barbecue place. It was fantastic. All right, we are entering Colorado. See, here's the guy who's following us, stopping traffic, what little that there is out here. Look at that mountain. Are we gonna go up that?
Well, I think the train does. I don't know if we go that corner.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, you go around, it goes around it.
Yeah, so we're going up there.
I'm not sure if we're going all the way up there or not, but the train goes up there.
It goes up there. So the conductor just shared with me, we're gonna go all the way up there. We're gonna go swing all the way around and up there. He said it's called Windy Point. I'm sure we're gonna find out why. There is a whole heck of a lot of steam coming up right now. So I don't know if we're getting the power to be able to go up that. Look at that. What?
We're really good at stating the obvious.
Your name?
My name is Logan Heidi.
And you're the conductor?
I'm the conductor on this train, and what we're doing now as we go up this corkscrew is it was a way for the railroad to try and keep a steady grade as much as they could going up this 4%. Now you can see the lower track down there.
Okay, that we just went on. We went on that one. Cool. What does that mean?
That means we're just about at the top. We're getting to the yard limit at Cumbres Pass.
And where do we stop at?
Cumbres Pass.
Okay. And
we'll get there and then we'll turn around.
Oh, we're gonna turn around and stay on the same train?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow. That's always fun to watch when they switch the engine.
Oh yeah, that is. So now you can see almost all the way to Chama. That mountain over there is just about Chama, where we came from.
So we are at Cumbres Station. 10,022 feet. So is there... This was really different. So here, going back into this, they actually switched the track. We backed up far enough for them to switch the track. And now we can go back where we came from, literally the whole train, facing the same way. There's a lot of people that drive out here just to watch the train come in and do all this. So we've had an unexpected stop. I hear them talking about fire control. And I smell fire. There's fire on the tracks behind us.
There was a fire on the tracks?
Yeah, and we just went over it. There's still smoke. I imagine that's why they stopped. And the conductor ran back there, but that fire car follows us. So we did have a small coal fire on the tracks, but that's why we have a water car that follows us and he puts out any fires. Said in the old days they would have like a fire extinguishing car on the train.
We've definitely decided over these past few years that paying for experiences like this are really worth it. Especially when you're going to places that are not really on your bucket list and are not really crowded. And I really feel that they're worth every penny. Definitely worth more than paying for a meal if you had to choose between one or the other.
Yeah, this is the kind of memory that you talk about for years. I don't know, we're not foodies, so maybe you don't agree, but a really fancy meal at a really high price isn't something that I'm going to remember 10, 20 years later. But experiences like this are definitely something we'll talk about forever.
Definitely.
It's only about 55 miles from Abiquiu Lake to Chama, but we did relocate our campsite up to Chama anyway. It's a little tiny town and it's filled with RV parks and some really simple lodges.
It's at almost 8,000 foot elevation in the Southern Rockies, and the Rio Chama River runs on the east side of the town, and most of the RV parks actually back up to that river. And one of the things that's really popular there is fly fishing, and then some of the other things people love to do there is hiking and mountain biking.
So we stayed at the Down Home Lodge and RV Park, which suited us perfectly. So this trip was a really good example of this kind of traveling easy lifestyle that we kind of want to do from now on. We had one end destination with a few places that we were interested in along the way. But even if we'd had really solid plans, the important thing is that we had a lot of time built in to be able to explore the surrounding areas.
Definitely different than how we used to plan our trips before. It was just so hectic and stressful.
And like we keep saying now, it's having the time to discover the things along the way and not worrying so much about checking things off of a list. And you were always trying to get me to notice the surroundings and the things around us instead of where we were going next. And that's one of the reasons I think that we can really still continue to love this lifestyle.
Yeah, that's what I call living in the here and the now. This video is a little different than how we normally do our destination themed videos. We'd really like to know what you think of this style. And we'd really appreciate it if you'd share it with your friends and family on social media. And if you're not yet a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
And do ring that little bell, because that way you'll be notified by YouTube each time we upload new content.
And make sure to leave a comment, that way you could be part of the conversation.
Until next time,
We'll see ya.
That's a wrap, roamers. If these adventures and tips are keeping you inspired, subscribe and watch another one. Your next RV tip or destination is just a click away.